Hey guys, welcome back to Algebra 1. Last time we talked about how we classify polynomials and how we are able to add and subtract them. So today we're going to be learning how to multiply polynomials. There's going to be a lot of stuff that we're going to be covering today, so watch out. So there are going to be three methods that we're going to be learning on how to multiply polynomials. For the most part, we're going to be learning how to multiply binomials. But we'll get to some of the harder stuff in just a little bit. There's only going to be two problems, so don't worry. Okay, so we're going to be learning those three methods. Then we're going to be learning about three special patterns for multiplying binomials. Alright, so yeah, that's what I mean by a lot of stuff. Alright, so first method we're going to be talking about is the distributive property, and this should be something that you are already familiar with. Alright, so what we do is that we take each term and multiply it by term here and multiply it by this. So we're going to use the distributive property to do that. So in this case, we're going to be using x times x plus 5 plus 2 times x plus 5. Alright? And then, guess what? We gotta use the distributive property again. And so we get x, okay, that's not mean to do that, x squared plus 5x plus 2x plus 10, which equals x squared plus 7x plus 10. Alright? That's pretty cool, alright? Alright. Now I want you to try this one. X plus 3 times x minus 4. Use the distributive property to multiply. Okay, so let's give it a try. So what we do is take every term here in this first term and multiply it by this. Alright, and so it's going to be x times x minus 4 plus 3 times x minus 4. We use the distributive property again, and we're going to get x squared minus 4x plus 3x minus 12. That's what's going to simplify down to x squared minus x minus 12. Alright, so there you have it. One method down, two to go. Here comes your second method. You make tables to multiply, right? So let's give it a try. So it's going to be 2x minus 3 times x plus 5. So what I'm going to do is create a 3 by 3 table. I did not want it to be that big, but whatever. Alright, so what we do is we're just going to leave this box in the upper left hand corner blank. And then here we're going to put in this column here, in this column, in these two cells, we're going to put the cell in terms for this binomial here. So it's going to be 2x and negative 3. And then these two cells we're going to put in the terms for the second. So it's going to be x and 5. And now we can use our table to easily multiply our terms together. So this cell represents 2x times x, which equals 2x squared. And here it's negative 3 times x, which is going to be negative 3x. And then here's 2x times 5, which is going to be 10x. And then last, I should probably clear the space. Last is negative 3 times negative 5. It's going to be negative 15. And now, if we just add all those terms up, it's going to be 2x squared. 10x minus 3x is 7x. And then minus 15. Alright? Oop, my turn to play chess, I guess. But I'm not ready for that right now. Alright, so I need to break this down so you guys, so I don't split tables, okay? So now I want you to try this one out. I'm going to use the 3 by 3 table, leave the upper box blank, and fill in the table for each term. Multiply the terms together, and then you'll get your result. So pause the video and try to work this out on your own. Okay, so we have r minus 5 times 2r minus 1. And so on the upper left-hand box, we just leave it blank. Then here we're just going to put the terms in for the first binomial. So it's going to be r. So it's going to be r and -5. And then we're going to put the terms in the second binomial. It's going to be 2r and -1. And now we're ready to multiply. So it's going to be r times 2r. So it's going to be 2r squared. And yes, if we have an r and r, it's sum of the exponents. Remember that product of powers property? Yes, that's how we are able to get it. Just thought I'd throw it out there. Alright, now it's -5 times 2r, which is going to be -10r. R times -1 is -r. And then -5 times -1, negative times negative, that's going to be +5. Alright. And now we just combine all the terms together. It's going to be 2r squared, -10r minus r is -11r. And then +5. And that, my friends, is how we multiply binomials using a table. You can use this for other polynomials as well, but you might have a lot of work to do. Alright? Now, we're going to learn the last idea to multiply two binomials. This is a really good shortcut, you guys. It's called the FOIL method. So, FOIL method is a special way of multiplying binomials, where you take the first terms, the outer terms, the inner terms, and the last terms in order to get your result that you want. So let's try. Allow me to demonstrate with this pair of binomials. It's x minus 3 times x minus 6. Alright? So you could just use the distributive property or a table here, right? But if you just use the FOIL method, you can easily multiply. So here it's going to be so we're going to multiply the first terms first, so it's going to be x and x. So that means the first terms of each binomial. Now the outer terms. It's going to be x times -6. Alright, and then we go for the inner terms now. So it's going to be -3 times x, so it's -3 times x. And then last terms. We do -3 times -6. So it's -3 times -6. And now we can just simplify from here. So it's going to be x squared. X times -6 is -6x. -3 times x is -3x. -3 times -6 is +18. And that just simplifies down to x squared minus 9x plus 18. Pretty cool, right? Alright, why don't you try this one out? It's 2x plus 1 times 3x minus 5. Don't use the distributive property or table. It might take a while to get done. I'm glad you do. So use the FOIL method. Alright, so pause the video and work this out on your own. Give it a try. See what happens. To find it easier? Okay, I'll stop talking. Okay, I'm going to start talking now. I like to have a little bit of fun here. Alright, so we have two binomials, so we can use the FOIL method to multiply them together. So, to multiply this out, we multiply the first terms first. So it's going to be 2x times 3x. Now it's going to be the outer terms, which is going to be 2x times -5. Now it's 1 times 3x, which is going, so I'm just going to write this out. And and then 1 times negative 5. That's your last terms. Simplify it down. It's going to be 6x squared because it's 2x times 3x. 2 times 3 is 6. X times x is x squared. And then 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x. 1 times 3x is positive 3x. And then 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. And now we're going to, and this just simplifies down to 6x squared minus 10x, minus 7x minus 5. Alright guys, that's how we use the FOIL method to multiply polynomials. Now, I want you to try this one. 1. Actually, you try the next one, okay? So, what are we going to do? So, this is a really good one. This is because we got a binomial and a trinomial to multiply. It's better off that we multiply using the distributive property. Okay. So we're just going to take the first term of the first polynomial. It's going to be x times the entire trinomial, x squared minus 3x minus 2 plus 5 x squared minus 3x minus 2. And then we use the distributive property again. So it's going to be x cubed minus 3x squared minus 2x plus 5x squared minus 15x minus 10. Now we're ready to simplify by combining like terms. X cubed is alone by itself, negative 3x squared plus 5x squared. It's going to be positive 2x squared. Negative 2x minus 15x is negative 17x. And then it's going to be minus 10. Alright. Now I want you to try this one. I know we're moving fast, guys, but I'm actually kind of in a time constraint right now. But anyways, we have n minus 3 times n squared minus 2n plus 4. So why don't you pause the video and try to multiply these polynomials together using the distributive property. Alright, so let's give it a try. So we take the first term of the first polynomial and multiply it by the entire trinomial. So it's n times n squared minus 2n plus 4. And then minus 3 times n squared minus 2n plus 4. We use the distributive property again and we get n cubed minus 2n squared plus 4n minus 3n squared plus 6n minus 12. And now we can just simplify this down. So it's going to be n cubed again, negative 2n minus 3n squared. N squared is negative 5n squared, 4n plus 6n. That's going to be positive 10n. And then minus 12. Alright, so that's it. For the hard work. Now, I'm going to give you a couple patterns to help make your polynomial multiplication process easier. So there are two formulas that we can use if we happen to get a square of a binomial. So the first one I'm going to talk about right here is imagine that there are two terms right here. And the entire set is being squared. Your first term is going to be squared. Then you're going to take twice the product of both terms, and then the second term will be squared as well. So let's try it with this one. So we have 3x plus 4 squared. Alright? Alright, so the way we write this out is pretty simple. So it's going to be, so first thing we write out is the square of the first term. So 3x, square it, and we get 9, because we got to square the coefficient too. So it's 9x squared and then plus 2 times 3x plus 4. And I'm just going to see ax 4 plus 4 plus 4 squared. Alright, there's your, alright. Now I'm just going to use this space right here and multiply. So it's going to be 2 times 3x, which equals 6x. 6x times 4 equals 24x. Alright, try this one. X plus 7 squared. Pause the video and use this pattern right here and multiply. Alright, so let's give it a try. So it's x plus 7 squared. So the way we write this is the square of the first term, simply x squared. The product of x and 7 is 7x. We need to double it, so we get 14x. And then 7 squared is 49. Alright. Now watch out for the signs. There's 2 different patterns that we use here. We did the a plus b squared. Now it's the a minus b squared. So the way it's different is this sign right here. It's here. It's positive. It's negative, not positive. Okay, so now alright, so let's try this one out. It's 5x minus 2y squared. So same thing, we take the square of the first term, it's going to be 25x squared. The product of the two terms is 5x times negative 2y. It's going to be negative 10xy. Twice that is negative 20xy, and we need to take the opposite of that. It's going to be positive 20xy. And then the square of negative 2y is positive 4y squared. That's pretty easy. Now try this one out. 4x minus y squared. Pause the video and use that special pattern I just showed you to work this out. Alright, so let's give it a try. Oh wait, this is supposed to be negative. Negative, guys, I'm sorry. Alright, back to business. Alright, so now we take 4x and square it, so it's going to be 16x squared. The product of the terms is 4x times y, not negative y, positive y. So it's 4x times y. It's 4xy. No, 4xy. Square it. Multiply by 2 and you get 8xy. And then negative y times negative y is y squared. Alright. One more, guys. One more. We're almost done. So now we have the sum and difference pattern. So basically, your terms are the same, but one's the opposite of the other. And so your result is actually going to be a binomial. It's a difference of squares. That's what we call it. And so we're going to try and work this out. So we take t squared. So first thing we do is t times t is t squared. Don't worry about any t terms because we could get negative 5t and positive 5t. Those cancel each other out, so t terms are gone. And then it's going to be 5 times negative 5, which is negative 25. That's pretty easy, guys. Alright, I want you to try this one out. It's 3x plus y times 3x minus y. Pause the video and work this out on your own using this pattern that I just gave you. Alright, so what we do is take the square of the first terms. It's going to be 3x. It's going to be 3x squared. X and squared. So it's going to be 9x squared. And then your second terms. Multiply those together and you get minus y squared. Okay? That's it, guys. That's all I've got for you today. Pretty soon you're actually going to be learning how to do the reverse of multiplication, which is factoring. But next time we're getting into polynomial equations, so you can get an idea of why we factor polynomials. Okay? Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. So long, folks.